Senator Kaine.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and congratulations to both of you for your nominations. I just noticed in looking at your bios, you both have had in your professional career some significant experience in programs kind of with international partners. So Admiral Bradley, you're posting to the Italian equivalent of their sort of SEALs, the Incursori, and General Anderson, your reception of the Olmsted Scholarship. Talk about how in each instance this was important to your professional development.
Senator, thank you. I think I was most surprised and rewarded with being able to see the world through the eyes of a different culture. And as close even as the Italian culture is to America, in fact, many immigrants, a large portion of the country here, but they could still see the same event in a decidedly different way. I believe that experience both deepened my family's closeness, an appreciation for the rest of the world, but also helped to deepen my own empathy to be able to understand the way other people might see things.
So you clearly conveyed a benefit to these Italian allies by being posted there, but also received a benefit in return that has helped you in the leader you are today. General Anderson, tell us about the Olmsted program.
Yes, Senator, it was in hindsight, a transformative program to be able to study abroad and to be immersed in the culture. Like I said in the opening statement, when I was there after 9/11, you couldn't walk through any town square without seeing a memorial to the United States and to the Americans that were lost. Matter of fact, when I walked to school that morning on September 12th, there's a statue of Thomas Garrigue Masaryk, the first president of the Czech Republic. On that square, you couldn't walk through it because it was covered with flowers and candles, and across the chest of the statue was in Czech a banner that said, "We stand with you for democracy." It was a pretty powerful reminder of what those relations mean and what the American way of life and our values stand for to many people.
And this was a number of years ago at a time when it probably would have been hard to imagine a land war in Europe, but the relationship the United States has had with the Czech Republic, including in the current conflict in Ukraine, has been a very important one. We also have a lot of programs where we bring military leaders from other nations to the United States to participate in programs at the Naval War College, the Army War College, and others. If you benefited from the experiences in the Czech Republic and in Italy, I believe from my own observation, these programs are also pretty important to building relationships with foreign military leaders who come to the United States. Do you share that view?
Senator, I do.
Yes,
the reason I asked the question, I was interested in the commonality in your resumes in this way, is I'm very, very worried about the budget that the administration has submitted, and the rescissions package we voted on is dramatically undercutting these exchange programs. I haven't yet seen the effect in the DOD, but in the rescission package that we passed last week, it was very not specific about details, but you can tell a little bit from how these rescissions will be used in state from looking at the administration's submitted budget. The administration's submitted budget for 2026 basically eliminates a lot of funding that goes into this. The Bureau of Education and Cultural Affairs in the State Department, which handles these programs for diplomats, the recommendation is that it be cut by 93%. And many of the RIFs that were done a couple Fridays ago in the State Department laying off people who do this work. This is the Fulbright program, and this is other exchange programs. These programs that the U.S. has funded have educated more than 600 current or former heads of other nations. They've come to the United States and gained experience here. 88 Nobel Prize winners are alumni of these exchanges, and the administration proposes to cut the budget by 93%. I'm very worried about that. Let me ask one other question. How important is it in your work in AFRICOM or Special Forces going forward that the U.S. be a strong competitor in the information domain?
Senator, I'll start there. It's critical. In the competition in the information domain, truth is the high ground. We in the United States have a history of leveraging the truth, telling the truth, and I think that's powerful.
General Anderson.
Senator, I think it's absolutely critical across the continent, and I agree with Admiral Bradley. The fact that we have a credible news source and that we tell the truth is a very powerful information operation.
The administration's proposed budget for 2026 slashes the U.S. Agency for Global Media's budget by 82%. The Voice of America, the Middle East Broadcasting Network, VOA Persian, all of these are being dramatically reduced, and I think many of the rifts that happen at the State Department are in that space. Mr. Chair, I'd conclude. I'd like to just introduce in the record an article from the Washington Institute of Near East Policy. Here's how State Department cuts would impede U.S. policy. Dated July 3, 2025.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. Thank you very much, Senator Kaine.